All right, you were all unmuted. Welcome, everybody, and so happy to have you in the stream. My name is Obsidia, and I'm, of course, the DM of this campaign. I am delighted to see you there. Hello, Christy. We are going to be picking back up where we left off, and as is tradition, we are going to do round the table introductions before a brief session recap, and then we jump right into the action. So, welcome to another exciting episode of Nexus Forlorn Legacy. First up, we have B.
Hello, everyone. My name is Beatrix Bunny, and normally I'm a taxidermy jackalope VTuber powered by love and slightly mad science. I do variety streams focused on roguelikes, digital artwork, and RPGs. And I also run currently one tabletop campaign in the setting and system of Deadlands Classic. That is one that our DM Obsidia is actually a part of. It is on a informal hiatus at the moment just due to how busy things are, but we'll be getting back up as soon as I'm able. Tonight, however, I'm going to be playing the Hobgoblin Artificer Feng-chen. I'm looking forwards to learning about all of the new exciting ways we'll have to compromise our basic moralities, so that ought to be pretty cool.
Yay! You don't get to live in capitalism if you're not experiencing compromising your morality. Um, Thank you, B. Next up, we got Meris.
Yes, hello. I'm Meris Oram. I am a Celestial Dragon VTuber. I specialize in storytelling and reading cozy streams. I also run my own D&D homebrew campaign on the side called The Trial of Hearts. It is an ode to all things romantic fantasy. So if you enjoy drama, a touch of mystique and political intrigue, and a lot of smooching the homies, definitely check it out. It's a fun time. But while I am here, I play Soleil, the party's hot pink fae tiefling himbo werewolf man, who is only just starting to develop qualms about compromising his moral integrity. So that'll be fun.
Thank you, Maris. Yes, for the record, this quest is specifically a Soleil quest, and so this is all his fault in many ways. So enjoy that. Next up, we got Sif.
Hi, that's me, Sif_VTuber. Living suit of armor. I play games. I do art. I have job. I'm here. I'm very happy to be here once again as Nafisa, the little Drake Warden Stone Dragon Girl with her pet dog Nyx. Very happy to be back. Thank you for having me. I love you guys.
Thank you, Sif. And then last but not least, we have Lily.
Hello everyone, my name's Lily. I'm an artist that draws a lot of D&D stuff, including my character for this campaign, Aurora. See my socials for a spicy art of her that I drew recently. Huzzah, we're getting there. But outside of that, I also run my own D&D campaign, Mistwalker Spectrum of Eternity. The first 16 episodes are up on my YouTube, and we are filming the next one on Thursday, so excited to have that happen and excited to be here with this lovely group.
Thank you, Lily. Always happy to have you all here and queer and getting used to it. Previously on Nexus Forlorn Legacy, our heroes arrived in the city of Signoviste, where they met up with Soleil's contact in the city, the mob boss known as the Assemblyman Lazlo, and when they met with him at his particular restaurant base of operations, the Dragon's Lair, the party was reunited with aspects of Soleil's past that they had little awareness of, including old flames, and with some crash course into her current slam pieces, romantic dalliances before her, Aurora got to see Soleil in action. They also met another contact of Soleil's from when he traveled across the Eryxis Mountains, Drovich, who is making a killing smuggling Nexite out of Eryxia currently. especially with the total breakdown of law and order within the city. They then met the infamous Lazlo, this orc mob boss, who is a urban fae warlock, who was amidst punishing somebody for stealing from him when the party arrived. He then, brought them in and gave them a kind of a brief summary of the situation, and that, Soleil was basically being called in to help him out with this because it is a total shit show, and they need to get it resolved in the next several days because at an unknown point in time, Nexcore, the corporation that the party has been facing the tendrils of throughout this, is working alongside a corrupt bishop of the church to basically call in a church hit squad on all of the different rival criminal organizations within the city. And so the party has to wrap this up before they arrive. Otherwise, things are going to get real violent, real bloody, and real fatal for some of the people involved. Additionally, as an extra bit of encouragement, he brought up that Nexcore has put out a 10,000 credit bounty on each member of the party. And since it was so recently done, it hasn't fully been distributed out. But Lazlo knows about it through his connections, and he's trying to suppress it as long as possible because otherwise members of his gang, along with other people, might start trying to get that easy money from killing the party as well. This kind of debrief was interrupted by a commotion outside as the restaurant came under fire, and that is where they met an old friend, none other than Lunys, the dragon paladin himself, as he was saving a small child caught up in the crossfire before absolutely murdering a whole bunch of rival gangsters that were attacking, alongside his trusty goblin handler, Chishi Day, the special agent Chishi Day. And after doing all of that, he greeted the party, and Soleil escorted the party to one of the safe houses of the criminal organization they're working for, the Shrouded Assembly, where the party just had a chance to talk and reunite with Lunys, who is his classic self, and Chishi was informed of how Soleil was directly responsible for all this shit going down, and it's just kind of like, well, you can't change the past. Let's figure out how to survive this. And that is basically where we ended things. So we will begin with everyone inside of the stash house, and I think we are going to specifically start with Nafisa.
Okay. So this is like right after we had finished discussing plans with Chishi about what the information we have from Lazlo, right?
Yeah, you had started doing the plans, but that was kind of left open for what your guys' actual plans are going to be. But it sounds like, based on what people were describing they want to do, is not set in stone yet. So
Gotcha. Because I know, so Lunys was in the corner with those like treasure bugs or whatever were like,
he was getting cleaned off by some treasure bugs before he put them away. He's kind of vibing. His planning is not really his thing.
So I'm assuming at some point in the conversation while the rest of the crew's talking, Nafisa will step aside to go over to him and then like kind of poke him with the butt of her gun to get his attention.
He looks up and kind of looks quizzically at you and goes, "What is it? What do you require of me?"
We should talk proper, like outside, if that's okay.
Ah, you wish to take this outside, I see. That can be
Yes.
arranged. As he summons his spear into his head, his spear materializes out of light.
Yes, I said I would like to talk outside, so we should take it outside. Yes.
He turns to look at Chishi and goes, "It seems that I've been challenged outside. I will resolve this quickly and return to your side."
Is conversation a challenge for him?
Chi kind of does a face palm and Lotus, it's just a figure of speech. But that's ridiculous. She confronted me with her weapon and said she wished to take this outside.
I mean, like, I touched you with, like, the soft end.
It is not my fault that you chose an improper way to start your duel. If I would have been challenging you, I would have, of course, chosen the deadlier side of my weapon.
I mean, isn't that kind of cheap then if you, like, poke me first with the sharp side before we even duel?
It clearly establishes intent.
Then I think that means that my intent was obvious and you're not getting it.
Preposterous.
I just want to talk, and we shouldn't be fighting in the city, but if we go back to your mamas, we could fight there if you want.
You wish to challenge me in my own home. I see that your bravery is matched only by your ill decisions.
I mean, your mamas seem nice. They probably have, like, a gym or something we could fight in. You know, I don't want to, like, hurt anybody outside by accident. That's crazy.
So be it, but if you simply wish to engage in non-violent discourse, then I guess this can be done differently, as he...
You're using too many words, and she'll just, like, grab his hand and, like, drag him outside.
We'll be waiting!
Mm-hmm.
And Ludus phases his spear clips into the doorframe, and you just see part of the doorframe just slices through before he phases it back into its pocket plane.
Yeah, Nyx can come too. And like outside, I'm just gonna assume there's like a bench or something they can like talk on. Hey, so Lunys, I wanted to ask, out of character, when we saw him like in that big event in front of the restaurant, he killed those people, right?
Oh yeah, he was directly responsible for the death of probably like 6 people.
Lunys, so you know how like when you hurt people really bad and they stop moving, that's killing them, right?
He kind of looks at Nafisa like, I am aware of the concept of death. Yes, that is correct.
Why do you do that?
Why wouldn't I?
Well, you say you're a hero, right? And that weird like talking thing you do to Feng, where she acts like a bad person, but you know she's not really. And then you say that you're a hero, and then you kill people.
I simply slew a threat to the public and to good people.
Huh. Because when I was younger, my mama would tell me stories about her and my babu and their adventuring, and she always told me that even though they did good things, to not call my daddy a hero because he killed people and he did not like it.
Well, that's ridiculous. When you kill a bad person, you eliminate the threat. That has been the story. You know of many dark and evil overlords that have been struck down by great heroes throughout history. Why, then, would this be any different?
Well, I mean, I know the stories you're talking about. I've read the anthologies in High Wayfarer before, but I mean, those are stories. Look at where we are now. I mean, we live in a world where, like, I know you called Fang a villain, but she hasn't killed anyone so far. And I never really got why. My daddy just told me that when you killed somebody, bad things happen, right? That it's not good. But the way I think about it is if you take away somebody because, you know, if they've done something bad, then that means that they can't choose to do something good afterwards, right? And, you know, putting it on your logic, if you kill a bad person, you kill somebody that could be good. You could have double the good, Lunys.
Well, that's ridiculous. If they are doing something bad, they are just as likely to continue to do something bad. By eliminating them, I have eliminated any prospect of them hurting someone else again.
but then you eliminate any prospect of them doing something nice.
Perhaps I am showing greater wisdom by eliminating potential threats at the expense of simply hoping that these dastardly villains will decide to choose to live differently. Because if they do decide to hurt someone again, that injury is on me. For I allowed it to happen, for I chose not to strike with justice.
Then don't allow it to happen. You know the Sapphire Sea?
I've heard of it. I've obviously never been.
Did Chishi tell you about what happened with because our group went there?
Yes, I'm aware that you went there and you fought that the Leviathan and was able to eliminate that threat, and then from it you found that thing.
Well, that thing was also that threat. We didn't kill Omega. We took her with us, and we took them with us, and now they're our friend. And now they help us help people. We beat up those people that were burning down homes, and we didn't kill most of them. The ones that I spared were taken to jail.
Most of
And
them.
I know that's not perfect. Yeah, no, we were still figuring things out, but
Figuring things out.
hey, we're all growing up. You still think killing is good, and I know killing isn't good. So I grew, and now it's your turn.
I do not feel that it is appropriate to put faith in the prospect that a ne'er-do-well will perhaps reduce the total number of people they kill as they quote-unquote figure it out.
Well, you don't just have to, beat them up and not do something about it. You should talk to them, convince them, and if you can't do that, take them with you. I mean, we have Omega now, and I think somebody told you how they acted at first near your mom's, but Omega doesn't do that anymore. They don't melt people. They don't jump to lethal conclusions. They're a little judgy, but there are things we can do to, make it more likely that they'll do good things, yeah?
Has Omega killed someone before in your presence?
Out of character.
100% did.
Yes.
They consumed that guy in the fucking goblin territory.
Yeah, that was a pretty fucked up one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, my argument has a lot of holes in it, Lunys, but I mean, I haven't killed anybody so far, and me pushing people to not do that is slowly working. And okay, in Omega's case specifically, she acted like you did, so you cannot judge them, okay? But I don't know, Lunys. It's just our party isn't super comfortable with that, right? I mean, Soleil, when he fights, he kind of loses himself in his eyes. And when I talk to him about killing people and stuff, I don't know, I could see something there. So I don't think he really wants to either. And I don't know. It's tough for me to think of words like this, but that's why I'm getting better at it.
Well, I can
Lunys.
say that I do not enjoy killing. I simply do it for the I must. As I have traveled the land with faithful Lady Day by my side, I have slain many monsters and nefarious ne'er-do-wells as well, and I feel that every place that has seen my presence come and go is better for it, a safer dwelling than when I had first appeared, and I feel that that is the best way to go about things. If I were to leave a trail of potential recidivists in my wake, I would be remiss in my heroic responsibilities.
I know some people have to die. They'll keep making the wrong choice, but if we assume that the first case, then everyone would assume that. What if you did something bad at some point and didn't get a second chance?
That's ridiculous. I would never do anything bad.
That's why I said if, Lunys.
But it's a preposterous thought experiment.
It's okay. I know it's hard to think of things.
It's okay. It's hard to think of things.
You know, Lunys, you make it sound like you have to kill these people because you can't deal with... No, I don't want to be mean, but... I remember when we first met, and my daddy always told me that other Dragonborns don't really like Stone Dragonborn people. He doesn't really know why, and I don't know either, but we met each other, and I thought when we smelled each other and it didn't smell good, I thought it was like that, and I thought they didn't like you because of that. But I was wrong. I think I don't like you because everybody else in the group really looked forward at you. Soleil really wants you to join us. But right now, I feel like they're improving, and they're improving because I'm there with them. I think I'm a lot stronger than you now, and they're better off with me. But they really want you to join us, and I'm okay with that, but you need to do better for them too, and I think they don't want you to kill people like me.
So you're saying you don't want me to join your team? That
No,
you
I
don't
want you to
like
join...
me and don't want me?
No, it's weirder than that, I think. I think you should join us because you could do a lot of good, but I don't want you killing people. It's weird, right? Like, do you feel similar about me? You
Well,
always talk
obviously,
about how
I
I
feel
smell when
you're
we meet.
wrong. You are objectively incorrect. And I think that your party is obviously greatly improved by my presence. I understand that you are a stone dragonborn, and I'm, of course, a full true dragon, and that puts you in a position of distrusting me through some misconceptions that you may possess about me, but I know that my conclusions are correct. And for those reasons, I have seen the true heroic hearts that lie in your companions' chests, even the most nefarious of them. And while I have postponed my judgment of certain members accordingly, I feel that in our particular objectives in this city we align. If you do not feel that that is the case, then I think we can handle things separately.
I'm sorry, my words are... Common is like the fourth language I learned growing up. It's... I don't like you in like a... What's the word? A rival, competitive sense? No, our goals align, and you should work with us. And I know at the end of this, you'll probably want to join us proper. I know Soleil wants you to join. And Aurora and Feng definitely do. Feng especially. But I just want you to know the rest of us are trying to be better. And I thought that'd be something you're interested in. How about I make a trade with you? Just to consider, nothing, you have the same thing yet. Do you know the story of the Rose Knight?
Let me do a little odd or even for you. Let's say odd. No, I have not heard of that particular tale. Is that one native to your land?
No. It's just that Professor Jacobs had me read a lot of books when I was studying under him. The smart guy that was with us at the anti-pasta place when we first met. But
yes, the gangly one.
Yes, a lot of books, a lot of stories about heroes and knights were written in highway fare, from the old days. And naturally, through time, they get, translated and changed, and possibly maybe like an elvish author adds in their OC that convinces the love interest to cheat on the king, things like that. So, how about this? I know things are rocky between us, but if you join us, I will read these books to you in High Wayfarer, and we could, maybe start from there. And then eventually you stop killing people, and we can make things better over time.
Perhaps I will be willing to listen to your stories, simply so I may understand how incorrect you are.
It's okay. I know I sound wrong right now, but if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'll make proof that I'm right.
Ludus lets out a ha 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 ha. Unlikely, but I see that you are trying to live up to your moniker as a rival. I'll take your challenge, miss.
And when I'm right, you have to say I'm better, okay? And I'll say you're better when you eventually, break my spirit and my motivation and destroy all of it. Like the hero you are.
I don't need to break you. I will simply re-educate you in the appropriate way to view things. I am not a monster. I am a knight-errant, fighting injustice everywhere I go.
And I am Nafisa. I am a simple adventurer trying to leave things better than when I left it.
And he will extend out his gauntlet to you.
And she'll extend her hand back out and they'll shake, and then I imagine Nyx will run up and then put both her paws on the handshake to seal it.
Ha! So you want in this as well, as he switches to Draconic for her.
I imagine she'd say something like they're a package deal.
Yeah. If Nafisa's in, I'm in. Ha ha ha! The more the merrier. I will enjoy showing you the errors of your ways.
And I think that's good. That's a start.
Okay. So as that exchange happens outside, inside crew, Feng-chen. What's the dealio?
Soleil, a moment of your time, if you would.
Yeah, sure. It's on your mind.
The blessing from your associate, the prince. He said it was not merely for, strictly speaking, cats. Is that correct?
I'm not entirely familiar about the exact terms of this particular blessing. It's not something I've ever really thought to put to test, but I mean, cats seem to like me well enough. Cat folk, cat shifters, Baxi seem to, like me quite a bit.
From the cursory information that we have of the leaders of the various factions, I couldn't help but notice one was a jaguar folk. How comfortable do you feel playing the role of a honeypot?
Kind of looks at you. You see his eyes behind the mask blink a few times. You're asking me to get with the rival gang leader?
I am asking if it would be possible to make it appear as such. You clearly have a reputation with the criminal element of this city, one that has proven its effectiveness through the instigation, albeit indirectly, of how we now find ourselves.
I mean,
What if you were to appear as something of a free agent? Someone who might be hired for your services?
I mean, fair enough, but I mean, speaking of reputations, people kind of already know I'm Lazlo's guy, that I work for him. Won't it look a little odd to suddenly be a free agent?
It would, though, if you have not been in the city for quite some time, and I apologize if it sounds judgmental, but given the indirect nature in which you have put him, how should I put this, bent over the barrel, I could see how one could read potential bad blood forming from there.
I see.
I do not know the man nearly as well as you do, nor do I know anyone else in the city. I do, however, believe I know a thing or two of drama and dramaturgy.
Well, granted, I'm not opposed to using any of my particular skill sets, but I would have to, I'm sure you understand, relay this potential plan back to Lazlo so he doesn't freak out once we enact it.
And something to
Of
consider,
course it-
Soleil, is you cannot lie. So
Yeah.
you will have to figure that out if you're doing it. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a difference between saying, I don't work for someone, and, yeah, I used to work for this guy.
I'm just saying,
It's
like,
not a lie.
if he goes down this approach, he will have to think about his words carefully because he cannot lie.
I agree wholeheartedly that he would have to be on board. In fact, I do not think it could possibly work without his involvement. I've been meaning to, I've been meaning to seek uh, word with some of his craftsmen, his engineers. I do not wish to make a functional one, but given the place we are in, I feel having props would be very helpful. Perhaps something that would look quite a bit like, say, a bomb, perhaps, would be useful to have.
Again, he just kind of blinks at you for a moment. If I may ask,
Please do.
what are you planning? I mean, props and seduction attempts and what is the goal behind this?
Well, my goal is to have this necessary evil take as little excess violence and collateral bloodshed as possible. I am working under the assumption that if we were able to isolate or at least speak with the general with a more limited retinue of guards, it would help minimize potential danger. As for the bomb, well, the faux bomb, I found myself a little uncomfortable with the improvisation I needed to work with the last time we were in mortal danger with the wolves. While I assume, due to how that turned out, that I am relatively passable at playing the part of the ruthless villain, I would still prefer not to have to do something so drastic. Having a prop is a potential means of not having to use such applied violence directly, if nothing else.
The bomb is the less drastic approach.
I feel so. It is still the appearance of violence, but it is more flexible. I do not have to have someone already silently begging as the breath gurgles from their lungs while I have their trachea being crushed with the chain on my arm.
I mean, far be it from me to cramp your style, but I do find the direct approach to be a little simpler.
That's fair. I must admit, this is the first time I've ever found myself in the midst of a violent civil war of criminal elements. So I suppose I am playing everything by ear a bit these days.
I think this is pretty safe to say it's uncharted territory for all of us. I
I
think
would hope so.
I think I'm just worried that um uh, a plan that revolves around such deception on both fronts could easily fall apart. I mean, I worry that they'd be able to tell it's a prop, provided, once they get a gander of it for long enough. As for myself, now, mind you, there's no doubting my particular uh, skills behind closed doors, but the slight hiccup there is I have this uh, fey problem where I cannot lie outright.
Mhm.
I don't have to be honest, but I cannot lie.
I see.
That may complicate things a bit.
Hmm. I would still believe it's not impossible to engage in deception yet, but I understand the difficulty inherent in that.
Why don't I, in the meantime, while you're thinking our strategies through, I can talk to Lazlo on your behalf and see if I can't get you in with some of his craftsmen as engineers. He admittedly that's an area I haven't really touched. He kind of likes to keep his R&D close to the chest. So I can't guarantee anything, but I'll put in a good word for you.
That's all I could really hope for. Truth be told, would as much as I'm sure he is a wonderful man in private, he is, well,
Even behind the mask, you could tell Soleil kind of grimaces at that.
yes. I I see you understand the hesitation.
Yeah, no, I think it's kind of best if I act as the middleman, so to speak, in these conversations.
I just worry that a failure to plan will become a plan to fail, but I suppose there's not much we can do about that other than see what we can throw at the wall and have it stick.
Yeah. Well, I'll bring up to Lazlo, see what he says. I'm happy to help, however I can. This is my mess, after all.
Of course. You did not think we would let it slide so easily. You must work to be a good boy, Soleil. It is not simply something that comes simply by virtue of being an effective hound.
His tail starts wagging a little bit.
Aww.
Well, I will certainly do my best then.
As will I, as will no doubt Nafisa and Aurora and Lunys, and we will simply have to find a way to make that enough.
You got it, boss.
Right. Anything else fun?
Just like with a smirk, another curt little, yes, good boy, as she leaves.
Alrighty then. We now know Soleil's weakness. You're killing my tough guy, you know.
You're really killing my tough guy vibes over here.
Aurora already knows, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aurora. What's Aurora doing during this?
I imagine she probably like walks away for a bit and just kind of like lets everyone else talk and then just eventually comes back into the room. And you can see she's got like a small little cloak on and just looks to the rest of the party and just says, "Are we staying here or are we staying with Lazlo's?"
Are we all back at this point if she's asking us this?
Sure.
I don't really want to stay at Lazlo's, but Soleil?
I mean, it's probably the safest place for us right now.
Lunas and Chisha would be staying here, right?
Probably, since y'all don't... He doesn't really know y'all, but...
I can rig up some countermeasures if need be here.
I'm gonna be heading out here, so I just want to know where I should come back to.
By yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? Do you want to take Nyx with you?
No.
You gonna be okay?
Mm-hmm. I'm a strong girl.
I know, but we have numbers over our heads now.
Those are hip points.
I'm inclined to agree. I don't really want anyone going off by themselves right now.
I'm going, whether you want me to or not.
No, it's okay if you want to go, but like, do you want to be by yourself? I mean, if you get in trouble, you can do like a big magic thing, and then we'll see it and we'll come running. Okay?
I can cast Sanding to get in touch with you, but I assure you that will not be necessary. I've done a very good job of keeping myself out of trouble for the last year and a half.
Yeah, but that was before you met us. And we've been in so
Very
much
true.
trouble.
I feel like if you were there, it'd be more of a danger to myself than if you weren't.
She's like looking up at you with puppy dog eyes in response to hearing that.
Nyx gives you a puppy dog face without eyes.
Oh.
Little tongue blem.
Oh, quick question about where we're currently staying
Yeah.
here. How many points of entry are there?
It's an apartment complex, so for like your specific apartment, it has the one door in, and does not have a fire escape. So you'll burn to death, but it does have like windows. And I think it was like I think I said like a 5th floor or something.
All right. Well, assuming that we'll be staying here for now, I'd like to just start setting up the materials to arcane lock the door for anyone who is not a part of the immediate group that we're working with here for the party.
Okay.
Well,
So should we be staying here? Soleil, is that okay?
Yeah, no, that's fine. We'll keep an eye on things.
good. And I can leave my bag over here, too.
I will set an alarm once we rest, but this should be a start for now at least.
I mean, I'll be back in a few hours. So, don't
I
worry.
miss you.
Want and any of us to come with you.
No?
I think this might be a personal matter for her.
I'm going to see the Eryxians, if that helps to clear your mind a little bit.
Kind of nods. At least we'll know where you are.
And I promise you, if something does go wrong, I'll send a message. And you don't have to worry, I've got plenty of invisibility to get myself out of any trouble. I just want to do this alone.
Take your time, Aurora. We will be here when you get back.
Thank you.
All right. With that, does Aurora slink away?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And where is Aurora heading to?
Well, you said that the majority of the Eryxian encampment, essentially for the refugees, is in the Midnight Marauders territory.
Correct. It's on the other side of the Drakon River.
Yes.
Or it's not Drakon, it's something else. But yeah, it's on the other side of the river.
Mm-hmm. So she would head right over to there.
Zarkani River, that's what it's called. So make one of these 3 skills of your choice. Stealth,
Okay.
persuasion, or deception.
Dirty 20.
Okay. So dirty 20 on persuasion. You are able to go across, there's specifically 1, 2, 3. There's 3 bridges that are currently like Lazlo controlled that link up with the other side of the city. And so you can get across those. You notice there is a fair amount of shrouded assemblymen, enforcers and stuff, but there is some, flow each way of people. But there's obviously the people that are going are generic civilians. They're not people like you guys or militants, at least at this point right now. So you kind of just blend in with the crowd, and are able to cross over onto the western shore. And when you get there, you see that there are on the other side of the bridge, there's probably a strong maybe 20, 30 various men and women wearing these are actual, like, you could tell these are UFAS uniforms, or at least they used to be. They've got the national insignia kind of ripped off of them, but they do appear to be somewhat maintained UFAS uniforms, and the various people there have there's like a machine gun set up facing the other side of the bridge, and the rest of them, kind of look people over, just kind of see if anybody has any gang markings and stuff from the assembly or any other faction. But overall, don't seem to be stopping. Most of them are maintaining a degree of vigilance, but this is something that happens so commonly that nobody is that vigilant. So you get kind of side-eyed by one of the soldiers, but they ultimately just kind of go back to looking at the next person behind you, etc.
Sounds good. But yeah, I imagine she just, as she makes her way through this, just kind of being very silent, eyes downcast a little bit. But as soon as she makes it across the bridge and through like the security checkpoints, essentially, it's just going to just try and find her way to whatever seems to be the largest area of Eryxian refugees.
Yeah, you have the advantage, with that persuasion check. You're able to just kind of chat around. Much of the western shoreline is, of course, like buildings and stuff, and businesses, apartments, etc. And you do see that once you get past the bridge, there are like patrols, much like how they are in the assembly. But these people have what is probably more like cosplay UFAS uniforms. Like, these have definitely been, they've got like a rank badge kind of slapped on or stitched onto like a somewhat, like formal like work outfit or like overalls or something. These are probably not the actual soldiers, but are still a part of the Marauders. And as you weave through those areas, you notice that much unlike the assembly territory, which is much more of a modicum of normalcy in some way, this one is definitely people move like there is an occupying force around them. People don't like to stay out in the streets very much. They try to go in and out where they need to as quickly and nondescriptly as possible. And the people, are very much compliant with the various, we'll call them militia members that may be talking to them for whatever reason. But there is not that same kind of like, these are the local Signovistans, living their lives normally. But after probably about 20 minutes, you're able to get to closer to the suburbs, outskirts of the city, where in the environs near Camp Cadiz, which is the base of operations of the Marauders, but that seems to be where they have relocated a lot of the Eryxian refugees that may have been in some of the camps outside of the city lines, but in kind of like tent encampments around here, in various states of drabness. But there's probably a good couple thousand Eryxians in various tent cities in this area. There are also a fair amount of like militia people, not really in the camps, but just kind of in the vicinity of the outskirts of each of the refugee areas. They don't seem to be like actually directly interacting with the refugees, but just kind of keeping an eye on them.
Specifically, they look like Midnight Marauders.
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, I think she would just truly just go into one of the places and just look for, a fire, and just, or however that may look, and just try and start to make conversation, or at least like listen to the people around.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
Okay. That's a natural 20.
20. Okay. Yeah, you're able to sit down at one of the, kind of gathering points of people scrapping together whatever things they can do to, build stuff for the community, get food, etc. And, as you start chatting, you slide into your Rixian accent like you never left kind of thing. And people look, because you obviously look a lot better than a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone, you're just another friendly person here, and people are very pleasant and welcoming to you. Is there anything you want to ask about or look into specifically, or are you just trying to overhear like things that people are saying?
I think she would start off by trying to overhear what people are saying, and then eventually just try and like pry a little bit more about like any weaknesses in the Midnight Marauders, like anything that they've seen and such like that could be potentially useful to get in there and dismantle the establishment.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's a human male who is talking to some buddies, and you hear them talking about how I can't believe that this has been going on so long. I hear that it'll be over soon, though. They say that the colonel will be striking tonight to eliminate some of the threats to him, and in the next few days that it'll all be over, and we should be able to get some work once the opposition's taken out. And another a female dwarf will kind of chime in and be like, it's not going to happen. You know that. I know that. The colonel doesn't care about any of us. Frankly, I'm just confused why he's kept us around at all. With what happened to so many of those camps, I don't know why he decided to change his tune so quickly. It seemed like he and his soldiers didn't care about any of us before. We were just tools and bodies to be slain, but now here we are, and we contribute what we can, but this can't be the end game. Like, why does these rabble soldiers care about any of this? Another person says, this one's like a halfling male, and just goes, well, the colonel, he's gonna, from everything we've seen about him, he only fights to win, and he has to have something planned with Nexcore or something. Why else would he get involved in this? Like, there's got to be some profit in it for him. I heard story. I read in the newspaper about his court martial. I don't even know how he's got all these people under his control now. He was embezzlement, corruption. Like, what? How is any of this happening? He's got to have a plan with the corporations. There's got to be something.
Well, if I may, from at least what I've heard, it sounds like they're mostly just going to take the victory, or at least do something, and then you'll all end up be working for Nexcore, but basically for absolutely nothing.
Kind of look at you, goes. The human male kind of shakes his head and goes, I can't believe we left Erixia just to find ourselves functional slaves to another master. The dwarf kind of chimes in. She goes, well, at least they're not mages. That's something.
I'm I'm a bit out of my depth here. Haven't just rolled into this town, but I'm a part of a squad of mercenaries that are trying to, well, make a bit of a difference. And as an Eryxian myself, well, I want to make sure you all are safe.
You're very brave to come all the way here to try and do some good. It doesn't seem like good really happens in this place anymore.
I mean, I know. I I fled to the UFAS towards the end of the war myself. Last year of it, at least. So, didn't exactly get the most kind and warm welcome. So, I get it.
They all kind of rumble in and kind of like, yeah. Like, we get it. We've been there. Dwarf goes, well, looks like you've at least done well for yourself.
Oh, well enough, I suppose. Found myself employment. It pays decently well, but a little more personal when there's fellow country folk on the line.
Yeah, we all left Erixia to try and find some peace and freedom away from that hellscape and free from the wizards and mages controlling our lives. And the refugee camps weren't that bad, as we were being processed and try and find whatever was going to come next as we tried to reach the UFAS dream. But after all of that, it seems that a different war just came to hit us here. There's really no escaping it.
I don't know if they ever really truly cared, or even at any point do care about us. From what I've heard, this whole war is the war against the UFAS was all just to get at the next site. So they ain't friends of ours either. Ain't no one friends of ours.
Make an insight check.
Well, I'm very bad at those. That's an 8.
You you continue talking, but the tenor has changed amongst the people you're talking to. The dwarf will kind of pipe in and goes, well, I frankly am happy they finally tore it all down. One day I hope that we'll be able to return and experience actual freedom, and I can't fault the Federation for fighting the injustices that we had to deal with there. And hopefully, now that the Arcane Conclave is gone, that we will be able to have actual freedom when we get back. Won't have to listen to some mage decide the fate of you and your family's lives at any moment simply based on their own whims. We're going to have democracy. We're going to have opportunity. Like, these are things that were worth fighting for. And as bad as things have been with the Marauders, it's I don't blame the UFAS for that. Going in there for Nexite it's insane. What they could always get Nexite. Why would they bother trying to destroy the Conclave for that? They said they were doing it for freedom.
Truthfully, I don't know much more. I'm still trying to put the picture together myself. I came from at least a small town, Baymel, southern coast. And, well, we weren't touched too much by the conclave and all that you're describing, it seems. But, I mean, the war hit everywhere hard.
That it did. The human kind of chimes in. That it did. Well, it seems to have worked out well for you. And I'm really happy to see that. It gives us hope that we'll be able to get that too. Once this is done, you know what they say, this too shall pass. And I hope that we can live as happy and successfully as you have.
She's very much like looking to the side as all this is happening. Very much the thought of, everything that they're saying about, mages basically treating them like so awfully is very much news to her. Like she's heard a little bit, obviously, but to this extent is pretty eye-opening for her. And she just says, well, it be everything as it is. Whether it be about the Marauders, the clan, or the Songro Shindai or Circle of Thorns. Any information you folks might have about their inner workings would be very appreciated as we try and at least make this place a bit more safe for folks.
The halfling will put his hand on your knee and stuff as he looks up. He goes,
I appreciate if you're trying to do some good here and to help us out any way you can. I don't know how useful it is, but I do know that the Colonel never leaves Camp Cadiz.
And he points over to what looks to be like a hospital that has been rebranded.
Mm-hmm.
Where there was, it said like Our Lady Amora's, regional hospital kind of thing has been pulled down, and instead you see like a banner that's been draped over it with a it's like a like a black moon with a pair of crossed rifles behind it, and it says Camp Cadiz written like painted onto it. And
the Colonel and his inner circle, they don't really leave Camp Cadiz very often. It seems that he likes very much dealing with logistics and supply concerns. It has something to do with what he used to do when he was served in the army with Casil. And so if you were going to find him, he would be in there. And I don't know if you'll have many opportunities to get him out of there, but if you can get inside, then obviously if he's only keeping the closest with him, that means that most of it kind of motions over to the various militia, and you'll occasionally see like a true soldier amongst them and stuff. They don't really go in there.
Not exactly a true military encampment, more so a base of operations.
Yeah, from what I've learned, I've been doing some cooking work for some of the Marauders, and from what I learned, when the files were released, and all the soldiers started getting pulled aside to go do the guarding of the high ups in the city and everything, a lot of them weren't getting paid anymore, and so a lot of them just defected to the Marauders and handed over their armories and stuff to him in exchange for some cash. And So a lot of the stuff has been kind of migrated in there. I don't know why he picked that hospital as his base of operations, but that's where he's been predominantly operating off of since he's come to the city. And I could tell you there should be a lot of stuff in there. Just that seems to be what he cares about far more than people. But aside from that, I don't know what else I can necessarily tell you about the Marauders. You've seen the caliber of their characters. You've presumably been perusing through the city.
Indeed.
Once you get past the particular strategic points, most of the day-to-day policing is done by militia. The true soldiers, they are kept in more important positions or in reserve positions to be concentrated for targeted operations.
Sounds like if we can pull some folks away from Camp Cadiz with a distraction, it might be a pretty easy pickings.
The halfling kind of shrugs and goes, I don't know about easy. Colonel Vasquez got in his position because he is a eminently capable leader, and he seems to be incredibly paranoid at the best of times. So I think even if you reduce what he may have available, he's certainly going to have some dedicated assets for his own protection.
No, I don't think it'll be easy. It's just... there's quite a lot of guards here. We gotta keep that in mind.
Yeah, a lot of them have been mobilizing. Apparently there's going to be a big offensive tonight.
Understood. We'll keep that in mind.
Halfling nods and goes, well, yeah, I wish you luck, and I hope that the next time I see you, there's a little more good in the world.
I hope so too. This whole situation is very much a lot to take in, so it did feel kind of nice to get back amongst people from home, at least in the meanwhile.
The human will say, well, I know we don't have much, but you're always welcome here, and well, live free or die. As he kind of takes a sip of some water.
She nods to him and starts to stand up to head out.
All right. Anything else?
I don't think so. We don't have to roleplay it, but I think like everything that was just said, Aurora would relay to the group when she gets back.
Okay. Soleil.
Yes.
Well, as Aurora's going to talk to the refugees and everything, what is Soleil up to?
I think he's admittedly becoming a little more antsy. The longer that, talks of plans and strategies, and Aurora's off on her own, that's making him nervous. And I think he's going to approach Lunys once he's back from his talk with Nafisa. And upon his return, out of curiosity, how does he, like, what kind of mood does he appear to be in?
He is still very Lunys. He seems a little like pricklier, for what that's worth. when he returned with Nafisa, he still keeps on the appearance of the noble knight, but he very quickly separates from Nafisa. It is not a warm return for how he's interacting with her.
Okay. He's going to approach him, snag a seat next to him, and just, "You all right, man? You're looking a little tense."
I'm just astounded by the close-minded perspective of some of your companions.
Glances over in Nafisa's direction.
She is giving off the prickly thing, but you also see her writing in her journal books that she needs to buy.
He turns slowly to look back at Lunys she gave you the talk then, huh?
She says that killing villains is wrong, and I said that's ridiculous. And then she said that I should be putting my faith in the prospect that these ne'er-do-wells will somehow make the correct decisions the second time around. I frankly don't think they're worthy of such chances, and that they should not be given a second time around to hurt someone. And I know that you, my brother-in-arms, would feel similarly.
Yeah, I think Nafisa's very much of the opinion that you can quite literally beat some sense into somebody. But I think that you and I have experience enough dealing with certain kinds of individuals to know that not everyone, unfortunately, can be thus reformed.
As Nafisa is writing in her journal, Lunys is just turning his head and giving the smuggest cat face ever at Nafisa's back.
I got something. I got something for when they walk out of the room. I'm ready, Obs.
And he goes, "Exactly. I am glad I knew to put my faith in you."
Yeah, well, that being said, we just have to make damn sure that we use our abilities to the best of our ability, right? That we make sure it's pointed in the right direction.
Exactly. Strike fast, strike definitively, and be the last strike they ever experience.
Soleil just kind of laughs a little bit. This is oddly refreshing to him. A part of the hair on the back of his neck is prickling just a little bit, the ghost of his father is hold on now, it's not that simple. It's never that simple. But a part of him really wants it to be that simple. And so he just kind of stands from his seat, offers Lunys a hand up, just, "You feel like taking a walk?"
Absolutely. I will enjoy striding through our city with you, my friend.
All right. And he'll look back over to Feng and Nafisa and Chishi. Just, we'll be back in a moment. Just gonna get, well, I was gonna say fresh air, but as much fresh air as one can get here.
Make an insight check, Soleil.
An insight check. As I pull up my character sheet. 16.
All right. You see, as you're starting to do this and Lunys stands up with you, Chishi looks up from what she's doing, and she is eyeing both of you very analytically as she gets up and walks over to Lunys and puts her hand on his thigh, and He turns to look down at her before, of course, getting to one knee in front of her, so he's not towering over her. And she looks at him, and you notice there is a great degree of concern just based on the vibe of you two going off. And she looks at him and goes,
Are you sure about this, Lunys? This walk?
and he kind of looks a little confused. He looks back towards you and goes, Of course, it's just simply a walk. Why should this be something of concern? He gives you a very obvious wink, Soleil.
Nailing it.
And
I can't lie, I'm not saying nothing.
yeah, Shishi looks over at you, Soleil, and she doesn't like squint or anything, and goes, as she's looking at you, she's talking to Ludus and says,
Okay, Lunys. I hope that this is a safe walk. And you know that if anything happens to you, I'll know and I'll come find you, Lunys.
You have nothing to worry about, my fair lady. I am simply going to stride the streets. What possibly could be dangerous in such a scenario? Isn't that right, Soleil?
Soleil just looks at Chi-Chi and just very simply says, Don't you worry, ma'am, he'll come back in one piece.
He would know that there would be serious consequences if that wasn't true.
And then she finally breaks eye contact with you and turns back to Lunys and just puts her hand over one of his gauntlets and just goes,
Just be safe. I'll be here.
and Ludus picks her up and gives her a big hug as he swings her about the room before settling her down as she has to readjust her glasses that have been knocked out of kilter in the spinning. Of course, my lady. I shall return and regale you with tales of my walk. Wink.
Oh my god, he's so stupid.
Hey, before they go for their walk, can Nafisa grab Feng to go to Soleil really quick before he
Sure.
leaves too?
Okay.
So like Chishi did that to like I think it was like a blessing thing to make sure Lunys gets back safe. So I'm just going to, and Nafisa's just gonna pat you on the arm and like encourage Feng to do the same on a body part. Because she's a hard time following the walk. Stay safe on you.
I've been so focused on making this fake bomb or trying to figure out how to. It's like, there's something going on? Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll pat.
Thank you.
Stay safe, Soleil. Be good, okay? Don't give Lunys any trouble.
I won't be giving Lunys any trouble. That's for certain.
Now you have to hug us and swing us around too, just like he did for her.
All right. One of you in each of his arms give you a big squeeze and a little spin. Sets you back down. I feel safer already.
And just one more thing, if you're leaving and you look back, there's like a hint of concern in Nafisa's eyes that like she dashes away before going back to her books.
So, but yeah, we'll make our exit.
All right, as you exit the apartment, get back out on the streets. Ludus kind of stretches and looks over at you with a big fangy grin and goes, Master of subterfuge, I don't think they suspect a thing.
Well, again, can't lie, but they may have a little bit, but I think we're in the clear nonetheless. Your handler, she's real sharp, that one.
She is incredibly capable, and I'm always in awe of her. But she chronically underestimates me and my powers of deception. And that's how I'm able to slide past these little deviations.
You often go breaking the rules.
Not often per se, but sometimes there needs to be a little liberal interpretation.
That sounds awfully fey of you, if I can say so.
Well, perhaps immortals of a scale think together?
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad we're of a like mind in these things. I've got a. I know that everyone's gonna be planning some large event here to take care of this gang war. But I know that another way that you and I are alike is we hate to stand on the sidelines.
Absolutely.
How would you like to do some good on this walk of ours?
Puts a hand on Soleil's shoulder and gives him a. His grin gets even wider as he clenches his other hand in a fist of enthusiasm and says, "There is nothing I would like more than taking decisive action now. If you have a target for my sense of justice, then I," and he summons his spear with his hand and goes, "I have an implement to enforce it."
Right. I do have a place in mind, but we do have to keep things a little on the DL. I want to make a ripple, not a splash tonight. You follow?
I find your choice of restraint disappointing, but understandable.
Well, you see, when it's just the two of us, not to say that I doubt either of our abilities, but we could be facing potentially hundreds of people. So, we have to take on what we can feasibly chew.
Well, I don't know about you, Soleil, but I'm a bit capable in my own right. I think I can handle a few, but I understand if you are resistant to the prospect of bathing in as much glory as myself.
Ah, well, we'll consider this a warm-up then for the main event. And with that, I think he's going to lead Lunys into, I think, more of the outskirts, the towing the line of the Vanyaskin territory,
Okay.
and kind of looking for. He's not looking for anything in particular. This was a very impulsive decision that he has made.
Okay.
And so I think he's just kind of looking for general ne'er-do-wells, people causing problems, you know, beating up innocent civilians, like that kind of thing.
Okay, so you know that the Vanyaskin territory, the Circle of Thorns, is predominantly in the northern part of the city, along the river, with their central headquarters being Rotgard Island, which is also where their what's it called? Their Temple Grove is. And they are predominantly involved in like the various river shipping and unloading businesses and stuff. So there is a bridge. You will have to cross over into Clan Song territory to get to the Circle of Thorns. But once you get there, that would also take you through the real industrial heart of Signoviste, because that's what Clan Song territory is, where most of the Nexite refineries are. That is partially the whole thing that is that NextCore is interested in out of this war. So, how do you want to go through Clan Song territory?
I think it would be impossible to go truly subtly. These two giant, flamboyant appearanced men. I don't think they'd be able to like blend into a crowd per se. However, I think he would just go with as nonchalant an air as possible. But if I can, at least within the most industrial areas that they're passing through, I think he would just want to observe the general ongoing, see if anything looks strange or interesting, how they're keeping these refineries like ongoing in the midst of all of this craziness.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Investigation. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. As you enter the Clan Song territory, odd or even, Soleil?
Odd.
Because you know that you are literally, out of this party, the one known Lazlo enforcer, you know that, just brazenly walking into the rival's territory, it has some concern levels, but you are able to, through your familiarity with the city and stuff, kind of weave through it without running into any of the Clan Song patrols or anything. But for checking out the refineries themselves, you notice that, when you were in the city, these refineries are pumping out blue smoke 24/7, basically. But currently, there is maybe a quarter of them that are even active, and the level of activity is fairly low, which probably coincides with what Drovich was telling you, and what Lazlo was talking about, with the fact that since the city's in such a shit show, the Nexite supplies have been greatly reduced because they can't just directly ship it all from Erixia, easy peasy. So what is getting through is being supplied by smugglers like Drovich predominantly. So there is not very much activity going on in the refineries, which means that the overall state of the House Song area has dramatically declined in quality of life since you were here all those months ago. There's a lot more like shuttered storefronts. You see a lot more people on the street, and you see that the overall situation here is not great, despite possessing what's potentially one of the most valuable things in the city. There just isn't any fuel for it, and so our Clan Song is greatly suffering from that, and the people who are feeding off of that are also suffering in turn.
Okay. Yeah, he's making mental notes of all of this as he's passing through. Does Lunys at all look bothered by this, or does he seem more singularly focused on going to beat up bad guys?
Lunys kind of will shake his head and be like, "What a truly distressing situation. It's astounding to believe that these people can suffer in such abject poverty because of these cruel and heartless actions by the people involved in this conflict.
Yeah, and he's just words just weigh really heavily on his shoulders because he's not directly responsible for, their current suffering. However, he was the catalyst for it. Um, and he just kind of looks over to Lunas and um I'm looking forward to making things right. I really hope we can.
And Lunas kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and goes, "Do not fear, Soleil. You do not need to make anything right, for you did not cause this. This was caused by the devious and duplicitous actions of the people who resided in this city, its own overlords and masters. You are simply a targeted blade, but you have been wielded by forces beyond your control, and clearly those repercussions have fallen on these people, but it is not by your hand."
Thank you. That makes me feel a little better, I suppose. But doing something I can control, I think will make me feel a bit better yet.
Especially when it coincides with eliminating their various oppressors and miscreants.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Now come. There's justice to dispense. And as you move through the Clan Song territory past the refineries, you head to the big bridge that connects the eastern and western shorelines, and you see Rotgard Island, where there's several large river barges and stuff that have been parked there, for lack of a better word. There's not They don't seem to have been moved in probably months. But there is smaller river traffic that is still kind of flowing through. But when you were here, this was fairly busy stuff going up and down this river. Now you'd maybe have like 2 river barges that maybe have been indefinitely parked here, and probably several dozen other smaller ships that are, doing various forms of commerce or smuggling or whatever. There is also a park on Rotgard Island, which is connected to the Temple Grove for the Vanyaskins there. But please make a survival check.
A survival check. Another dirty 20.
This is a night of the dirty 20s. You're able to kind of weave through the people crossing the bridge and everything, and once you get onto Rotgard Island itself, you've now, you're not in Kansas anymore. You didn't see that many Vanyaskins in the city as a whole. There's probably even less Vanyaskins here than in Vanonia. But they're all very, very concentrated in this one area as kind of an ethnic enclave, religious enclave within the city. But you do see the telltale, like, almost 3/4 of the people you meet have a visible cybernetic of some kind on them, which is all a dead giveaway that they're, because they're also the very distinctive Vanyaskin type where it's animal or nature themed for them. So you see a lot of them. You are able to kind of go through, and you see a group of them have actually quartered. It looks like a man who is wearing like probably like a hospital orderly like scrubs kind of thing. There's probably, I'm gonna say, like 4 of these Vanyaskins who are like shoving this guy into a wall, and they're all armed with various melee weapons and pistols and everything, and they are taunting and shoving this guy around and like tripping him and everything. What do you do?
I think Soleil would take stock of this situation, look over at Lunys, who I imagined is starting to look very bright-eyed.
Yeah.
And I'm just, it very much looks apparent that they're just beating up this guy, right? Like,
Yep.
Very much a give me your lunch money kind of situation.
Yeah.
All right. Soleil's just gonna give a little nod of his head in their direction. Just feel like saving a damsel in distress?
Always. And he will kind of pull back his arm where the spear materializes in it, and he throws it with all of his might, and you just see it go straight through one of the Vanyaskins, pinning him against the wall.
Oh no!
As he then starts running forward.
Oh my god! Oh no! Soleil just like, all right, that's on me. I should have been a little more clear. But he'll charge in with them.
Please, how are you doing this with your swords? Are you gonna wolf out? What are you gonna do?
I don't think he's gonna wolf out right now. That draws way too much attention.
Oh my god, is he actually gonna use his sword?
This is gonna be the first time he uses his swords?
I was just about to say, this feels like a really bad time to first use his swords. I kind of wanted it to be a more symbolic encounter than this.
Well, I mean, you got yourself into this.
Oh,
dude, do the vigilante thing. Rip out some like public infrastructure and bash him over the head with it, dude. Like a fire hydrant or something.
Oh my god.
Or just punch people.
Yeah, do you wish to look for a improvised weapon of some sort?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Make a quick perception check. Perception or survival?
They're both the same. We'll call it perception. 15.
15? Yeah, you find that, it's a dock. There's lots of various tools for that. You can see that there's of course like things of rebar lying around. There's also like a hammer for punching in like the mooring nails and stuff, and there is also like there's like a shovel. You're in a park area. There's a shovel. There's rakes. So pick your weapon of choice.
Oh god. We'll go with some rebar.
Okay. Do you want 2 smaller rebar or 1 big rebar?
1 big one.
Okay. So you've got your rebar. Do you wish to run up and club somebody? You see one of the Vanyaskins just spine severed, pinned against this wall, literally face against the wall because he couldn't see it coming from behind him.
Oh my god. I think he's gonna more so go for some kneecaps.
Okay. Make some attack rolls for me.
Should I just make them with my short sword?
Yeah, make it with your non-magic short sword.
Alright. 12.
Okay, you can make 2 attacks.
25.
All right, it's a little bit of work getting used to using a big rebar as opposed to, well, never using your swords, but using your claws, for example. And so the first one, you are swinging in, and Ludus is like diving into one of these Vadyaskins barehanded since his spear is in someone. And that causes, he kind of clips into you by accident with his tail as he's like just diving on top of somebody. And so your first one kind of gets knocked out of the side, but your second one is a solid connect. Just roll some damage for me.
Rolling some damage. 11.
11. How do you wanna do this on this guy?
Oh god. Oh,
you don't have to kill him if you don't want to. I'm just saying, how do you want to take him out?
I don't think he's actually like intending to kill people. So, but he is kind of itching for some violence. I won't sugarcoat that. I do think he's going to like go for, kneecaps, legs, and I kind of picture like just the absolute crushing of bones. The person like just passes out. Their brain just like short circuits, and their brain is like, nope, we're not doing this.
You do that nice swing to somebody's knees, and you see that knees normally point forward. But there is a brief moment where almost like, those like perpetual motion things where you take the like orb and it bounces and then it appears on the other side kind of thing. Bouncing. There are like 4 of them in a row. Oh man, I'm not describing this well. It's like there's 4 metal like circles with lines, and you hit one, and it's supposed to like the impact goes through it.
Yeah.
So it's like that. You hit the outside of his knee, and it crushes left way into the other knee, which also then snaps left way.
Oh no!
As he just tumbles over. He doesn't even have time to scream as both of his knees are shattered. As he drops down, and the remaining guy who's not currently under Ludus, turns to look at you. How do you want to do this guy?
Oh no!
This is gangland execution.
Honestly, I kind of picture just grabbing him by the scruff of his shirt, giving one solid sucker punch, broken nose, and like just down him.
All right, yeah, you grab him. Your fist goes right at you. Feel that reassuring crunch that you don't normally feel these days because you're always clawing out. But you feel just the raw impact on your knuckles as his nose that was formerly a set thing on his face promptly scrunches and disappears as a predominant feature as blood goes everywhere. You notice that 2 of his teeth clip off into your hand as you slam into him, and just dig into your knuckles as just jaw kind of slaps to the side as it probably dislocated from his head as he just tumbles backwards. Now, odd or even, Soleil?
We'll keep with odd.
Odd. Ludus sees you not, like, kill these guys. And the person he's on top of, you notice that one of he's barehanded because there's a spear currently buried in the wall. He has, like, his hands morph, like his gauntlets become these, like, serrated claw talons. And he's, like, about to, like, dig them into this guy. And he sees you, like, pick up some rebar, and he's very confused for a moment. And he kind of sighs exasperatedly as the claws reshape back into his hands. And he punches into this guy's head, and you see the dirt cave in a bit from where his head just snapped, and it probably has some whiplash from that, as there's like a brief little concussive burst around where Ludus punched him, as if he is ludicrously strong. And the guy's jaw dislocates, and a good 12 teeth have just splattered onto the grass, and he is out. And there is the remaining orderly person who you see has a, now that he's no longer being beaten up and stuff, he has a like a soldier badge on him, on his little orderly outfit of what looks to be, I don't know, probably some kind of Federation rank of some lowly rank or stuff on it. And you see a black moon with a pair of rifles behind it, badge on the shoulder of the orderly outfit, as he kind of is trying to pick himself off the ground.
Interesting. The player knows what's up. Does Soleil, however, recognize this badge?
Make a history check.
17.
I would just say, yeah, you recognize it from talking to Lazlo, and from Nafisa info dumping about what she learned about the politics of this place on the way here. You know that is a Midnight Marauder badge. That this person is clearly not wearing a military uniform, but they've got Marauder military stuff that have been put onto it.
I think Soleil will play nice for a moment, and he'll extend a hand to heft them up. You okay?
Yes, thank you. As he kind of stands up, it was, I was afraid for my life when they came for me.
Yeah, you're a bit of a ways from home, aren't you?
Yeah, I was captured when across the river, and I was brought here by these monsters.
Huh. Just doing a little quick trip then?
Well, I was doing patrol with my squad, and I suddenly was surrounded and knocked unconscious, and when I regained consciousness, I was over here, and they were attacking me, and I thought I was going to die, but thankfully, my heroes are here. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And he's gonna punch this guy too.
Man, what do you want to do to this guy?
kind of the same thing. I'm gonna incapacitate this guy and steal his uniform.
So you just head cracks against the back of against the wall. Little hair smothered on the side of it from the back of his head at the impact as the blood ruptures out of his nose, and he just looks like a puppet where you cut the strings of him. And as you then go over and start stripping this guy, Ludus is gonna stand up and the spear, he doesn't pull it out of the guy, he just dissipates it and rematerializes it, and the body slips down. What are you doing, Soleil? That was who we were rescuing!
Yeah, he was, and you know what? Funny thing is, this guy is an even bigger villain, wouldn't you know it?
What? No. What? I thought we were trying to eliminate them! What? Then I see you not killing them, and then you attack the damsel in distress that was our very reason for being here. You can understand why I feel confused.
Yeah, I imagine that you certainly do, and he's got the uniform tucked under his arm
this
now.
This naked fucking guy just in his underwear on the ground, bleeding, or surrounded by the three still alive but absolutely concussed people around him.
Here's the thing, Lunys. Death is not the only option for making sure someone never does villainy again. Take a look at that guy, and he points to the ones whose kneecaps are absolutely shattered. I don't think any gang boss is ever going to hire that fella ever again. This guy, the one with the busted concaved face. This guy, I reckon he's not going to be able to breathe right anymore, so that makes physical activity a mite difficult. And well, as for this one here, points to the now naked marauder. Well, he's a part of the Marauders, the ones that are looking to exploit the Eryxians.
So then we should kill him then.
No, he's gonna send a message. He's still got a purpose. But don't you worry. We're gonna...
It seems a bizarre moral line to draw to
get him,
simply
Lunys.
permanently maim people in lieu of killing them. It seems that it would be more merciful to do the latter.
Maybe so. Maybe it is. But mercy is not always up to us to dole out.
Yeah, shakes his head. And goes, I see that Nafisa's weak morals have infected you as well.
Gives a big sigh. His tail starts kind of wagging a little in agitation. Maybe a little bit, but it ain't just Nafisa either. I've been thinking a lot about my own family. My father, particularly. He was a great warrior in his own right. I don't think anyone could ever be his equal in my eyes. And he would never hesitate to do the right thing. But the right thing isn't always the easiest or the most efficient way out.
Well, I would like to hear more about your father at some point. Perhaps I can see some of his wisdom if he was as great of a warrior as you seem to indicate.
I got a lot of stories I could tell, if you'd be willing to hear them.
I think I could be amenable to it. I could compare them to some of the great tales that I have read about in my many books, and see where he stacks up in comparison to some of my own heroes and warriors.
I think that would be grand. You might want to get your spear back. The guy's kind of getting carved in half. It's not very pretty.
Oh, he just dissipated the spear, then reformed it in his hand.
All right.
So the body just kind of slumped down, basically only being connected by like the thinnest amount of muscle tendon.
Well, we've got the start of a ways in to the Marauders. Holds up the uniform, looks at it. I think it's going to be too small for either of us. We'll bring it back to the others.
Right. I hope that he turns to look at the guy who's unconscious on the ground, the naked guy, goes, and I hope you take that message back to your masters.
I'm sure he will. At that. Gives Lunas a firm clap on the shoulder, just I know this didn't play out the way you expected, but I do feel a little better, so thank you.
Well, then at least it wasn't entirely a waste. But I do feel less than heroic after this.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe on our way back we can find some more ne'er-do-wells for you to beat the shit out of.
I guess I can settle for that.
And for what it's worth, Lunas, time spent with you is never a waste.
Hopefully that I feel the same about you. Surely you will have to try and divine such meaning from my inscrutable countenance.
Listen, I'm open to your tutelage.
Then you have much to learn, as he gives you a big fangy smile.
And yeah, we can go beat up some more goons in back alleys and head back home.
Good old vigilante Yowie.
Vigilante Yowie.
But yeah, as you begin working your way home, throwing fists and throwing punches. We're gonna flash over to it's evening now. Aurora returns to the safe house. And Aurora, what are you doing?
I imagine at this point Soleil and Lunys are also back and they've had the chance to debrief and everything.
Okay.
But real quickly, she would probably just, just be in her room for a bit and probably just catch Soleil real quick, just for a quick scene before we get to the other side of this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And just walk up to him and say, "You gonna be heading out for the evening in the near future?"
Yeah, I got some business to take care of with Lazlo, before the night's done. And listen, I may not be coming back tonight. Might be catching up with Andres, and I want to make sure that's all right. I mean, because you and I tend to be together at night, so
I mean, you have an old flame. It's go be with him.
all right, okay. So long as, I mean, as long as you're cool with that. I know that you get kind of cold at night, so you like to But anyway, as long as you're cool with that.
And what if I said I wasn't?
Are you not?
It's fine. It's really fine. I can tell he likes you quite a bit. So, and you seem to have good chemistry, so it's fine. He needs your company too.
I gives a little nod. All right. I'll be back in the morning then.
Have fun.
give another nod and a little wave to the others, and he'll head on out.
Okay then. So Soleil's leaving. Aurora, your boy just pieced out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
I think after Soleil leaves, she kind of watches him go for a bit and then just heaves like a really deep sigh, like not even trying to hide it a little bit. Like in the presence of the rest of like at least Nafisa and Feng. Feng, you got how you folks doing?
I was just going to ask if you had need of ulterior space heaters. Seems like there may have been some issues with your usual one tonight.
Calling him a space heater.
I simply am repeating what he said about you being cold.
Yeah, and like you guys sleep together and stuff, so like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
We
like
do.
if I didn't sleep with Nick some nights, I mean we don't sleep like you two do, but I'd feel
We,
lonely.
we don't always have sex. Let's
Or why would you assume that we would assume that?
Nafisa
Shishi
opens
just
up the
coughing.
journal. Is that Shishi's like I'm gonna step out for a
Yeah, I'm gonna. This is clearly the kids' conversation. I'm gonna go
the
not
kids'
be here.
conversation.
Yeah, we're basically kids. These are all children.
She is in her goblin, like mid-30s.
Oh no, is Luna still here?
Lunas has an early bedtime. He has his little jammies on.
I have a little, when you guys are settling down for bed, I have a little thing for Ludus going to bed that you guys will see. But continue.
Perfect.
Yeah, and if he just opens up the journal, it's that. Yeah, but Aurora, is there something you want to talk about?
It's a bit of a loaded question, isn't it? Considering
know
all that
me,
I've
I'm a
experienced in
very-
a single fucking day.
Out of character, did Aurora tell everybody about what happened during your free time?
Yeah.
I know today has been a lot, so if you just want to, go honk shoo shoo, then we can do that. But if there's something on your mind, we can listen. Fang and I have ears. And Nyx too.
I know. And yes, there's a lot on my mind right now. It's just like, what isn't? It's a better way of putting it. I found out, well, Nethris is extraordinarily upset with me. The Raven Queen is now watching my every move. My entire life seems to have been upended for the sake of farming more Nexite. What else? Oh yeah, my people are being essentially genocided, and that and what else?
That is a lot. Yeah, no, it sucks. That sucks a lot, Aurora.
Thank
We
you.
cannot promise to have any answers, but
I don't.
we will
Sorry.
be with you, trying to find them.
I mean, we could add them to the bucket list. We'll add stop genocide and deal with next chord.
Those are very long-term goals right there.
Yeah, but
we
we're
ain't
going
gonna just fix that just with us 4 or even 5.
Well, yeah, but we'll be a big part of it. We're going to see lots of people when we travel, and then we'll, talk to them, and they'll be like, "Oh, life sucks too," and I'm like, "Yeah, life really sucks. Let's fix that," and then we all fix it.
Your optimism knows no bounds, even in the face of utmost adversity.
Well, yeah, if things are bad, then they have to get good, right? and it's up to us to make things good, right?
And they can also get worse.
Yeah, but that's what we're here for. And other people. I mean, I had boys are weird, but Lunas was really confusing when we talked, and I'm not good at being. He uses a lot of words, and I'm more. He's still going to kill people around us. But we'll convince him, and then we'll do more good together, and then he'll be a real hero.
I mean, I will admit, after learning about everything, part of me wanted to just stop thinking much about that.
Okay, we said these things are too big right now because they're long-term like campaign goals. How about right now? What do you want to do right now to feel better?
Sighs and just kind of drops to the floor and just sprawls herself out.
Gonna go over there and
Yeah, we're gonna sprawl over next to you. So was Nyx, belly down or belly up.
there's like the amount of skin to skin contact where it's like this is not something that is required. You can lean into it if you want more of it. You can lean out if you don't want it.
She wouldn't push away the feeling. Just so I don't know how to fix this. I don't know what to do. I really just want something to go well for once, and my brain is just this violent mush of conflicting feelings. I don't want to lose Nethris. She's been by my side forever. Yet I hate that she's mad at me, and I I feel like I'm questioning a lot my upbringing and everything. But oh god, there's too much. There's too much.
Do you love Nethris?
Oh, don't.
It doesn't have to be like any particular kind of love. It could be like the way I love you, and Feng, and Soleil.
I really care about her, but she's always been a little difficult to read, considering no emotions and all. And she's helped me a lot, so she matters. Damn sure.
You know how you had that pact with the Raven Queen, right?
Still do. Ooh,
Yeah.
gestures to her arm.
She like plays with her feathers a little bit. Well, if it was just for that, then wouldn't something bad have happened by now? But nothing bad's happened outside of, anxiety. But
But it's only been 12 hours. I mean, I don't. Oh, that's not entirely true. I do think I know what the terms are.
still
But
though, you don't. If you care about Nethers truly, I'm sure that she would deny it, but a part of her probably cares about you too. If not all of her.
It can be
maybe.
difficult when the people that we care about are not always their best selves. Perhaps that is simply what you are seeing. It does not mean that is all she will ever be, but it is not necessarily helpful to entirely try to deny it either. As someone who has been told I have been emotionless by many people in my life before, I feel I can say with some confidence, even if it may seem that way, that there is still something that is being felt. And that means, of course, there's also something that can be hurt.
I hope so. She's that essentially my longest lasting memory at this point. Lost my dad's, lost Verity. So basically one of the last true men going through everything. She's basically always been there.
Do you still feel her there?
Aurora will place her left hand onto her shadow. And see if she can feel anything.
You do not.
I don't know. She's not here right now. Or at least I can't feel her right now. But
I mean, like in your head, in your heart. You still remember her, right?
of course, yes. If I didn't
And
remember her, I couldn't be well saying her name.
then I'm sure she'll think of you too. And when you need her, or when she thinks of you, she'll come to you. I know if I get separated from you guys, I'll find you again. And Nethris has known you for a long, long time. She probably cares for you even more than I do.
I hope so. Can I be honest with you both?
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling a lot of things right now. And one of them feelings is, well, jealousy over Slay. That, I mean, we never set any sort of real boundaries. It's always just, you know, enjoy each other's company. Fuck. I really wanted him to turn around when he left.
Did you tell him that?
Well, no.
Aurora, I'm a very simple gal, and I find that being simple works. I know Lunas and I don't exactly get along, but I know we'll have to, so I told him everything to his face today, and I admitted I was jealous that everybody here really wanted him to join us, and because he's so strong and powerful, but I opened up about that, and then I was really a spiteful bitch afterwards and said other things. But I find that if you want things, it is important to say them. How's somebody going to know what you want if you don't tell them?
It also helps to be exceptionally clear. I can only speak for myself, but I have not been always best at understanding when something is meant to be, and that is only taking into account my own experiences, to say nothing of, well, cultural mores, expectations. But if it means anything, I can understand and relate to the feeling of jealousy when someone who you think to be quite special and important to you is experiencing a world and far more than just what you know of them.
Well, I mean, this whole thing, you can hardly even call it an agreement, but we said that, we were just friends, fooling around, friends with benefits, however you want to call it.
That's a thing?
Yeah. I
Oh.
mean, you don't have to, know somebody to want to sleep with them. I mean, far be it for me to tell you how you lack people, that you can lack people in your own way, very much so. At least always how I've experienced it. But normally you don't feel this. Though I suppose that's just because there ain't been no expectations set down, which is my fault, I'm sure.
Well, if
I
it
mean,
means
what?
something, he did not stay here for them, but he has stayed with us since he has met us. Do not wish to compare apples to olives, but
Yeah,
I think that still means something worth noting.
it does. It does. Thank you.
Of course, you're worth it.
No. Oh,
Don't
that's
say no
gonna
to
be.
that.
It's just weird. Not used to it.
Well, if Nafisa is to force me to obey such draconian measures as to accept my own self-worth, then so must you.
Okay. Then, at least for tonight, and maybe some nights in the future, gives you both just like a little smile and such. Says, let's say we all pile in the same room together.
Nix can keep us extra warm.
A capital idea.
You girls are very sweet. And
Oh yeah, we love you.
I know you don't mean that like romantic.
Should we not?
I mean, maybe one day. I don't know.
I feel
Oh.
more than capable with any of you. I feel that is reasonable enough with the
Oh.
relationships that have been developed.
My mama's party had a lot of weird romantic things going on they didn't talk about, so I don't know. Anything could happen.
No, hold on. Back up a minute. Are you telling me that you both have feelings for me?
I don't know. I don't really think about that stuff. I just like people.
Well, I am the sort of person who requires as a barrier of entry a understanding and trust of another person. I feel that I have achieved that with everyone in the party thus far.
That's something to think about, isn't it? Listen, she goes over to Feng, kisses her on the cheek, goes over to Nafisa, kisses her on the cheek. I really care about you folks too. Don't ever think that I don't. And if we're going to talk about being open with our feelings with each other, then that's another thing to add to the pile of thinking about. But oh my goodness.
We'll tell Soleil the same thing when he comes back. Okay? We need to work on being open with each other.
Fair enough.
Oh, we
For
should
now?
tell Omega when we get back.
For now, both welcome to just form a little cuddle pile.
All right. As you go into your cuddle pile, in the
Have we eaten at this point?
Yeah.
I feel like we should probably take care of that too.
It was
we
nothing
can handle
was
that.
specifically noted, but I could assume you guys ate something.
Yeah, food is a
Hungarian dish.
fantastic distraction from big thoughts.
Yeah. So in the living room, outside of your guys' group room, she kind of hunkers down next to a wall and lays her long greatcoat over herself like a blanket. She's got takes out her pistol from its holster and puts it in her lap as she kind of settles into for sleep. And Ludus curls up like a dog, doing a couple turns before settling down, which is, the fact that he's wearing full plate would make this almost comical, but you notice that his plate doesn't seem to work like full plate works normally. And he kind of does his tail and wraps it around himself as he lays there. And you see him take out from a little pouch, you see it's like a little music box. And he puts it on the ground next to him, and you see a bunch of eyes pop out of it as it kind of hops over to him, and a large tongue extends out of its music box mouth that opens up. The large tongue extends and gives a lick to Ludus, and he giggles, and then he looks over at Shishi, and he kind of does a little head nod to her, and the music box kind of hops over, and then you see it shape change into a big blanket that spreads itself over her as the eyes kind of look around for a bit before they then close as it wraps around her. And
I'm gonna also cast alarm on the room that we're in for now, for anyone who is not a member of the party.
Gotcha. And with that, everyone but Soleil settles down for the night to have their snoozes. Surely nothing bad will happen in the morning. And with that, I think we are going to wrap things up for tonight, since it's a little bit over when we usually do. But I hope you guys all had fun. I hope my players did as well. If you haven't done so already, please give me a follow here on Twitch, give me a sub over on YouTube, a follow on Blue Sky, or you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. I want you all to know you're all beautiful, amazing, and valid people. I hope you enjoyed spending your evening with us nearly as much as we enjoyed spending it with you. And never forget the most important part, which is that the world is better having you in it. You can also go check out my wonderful players. They're all streamers in their own right who run their own games. And some of which I play in, many of which each other play in. So go check them out and support them. That'll be it for tonight. There will likely not be any more streams for the week. I'm going to be flying out to North Carolina on Friday, so I'm not going to be around for the weekend. But we will hopefully see you next week for some more wonderful Nexus Forlorn Legacy action and possibly some other stuff. So be sure to come on by. If you are a follower, please copy down the call to hugs. If you are a sub, please copy down the Knight's message. We are going to raid my friend, the chef, who is playing a D&D game with our very own Vesper in it right now. So we're going to go send them some love. Chef Ryuga, he's a cosmic dragon. Good bean. And, they are good beans, sorry. So let's go send them some love. Alright, I hope you guys had fun tonight, and we will see you next time. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.